Everyone is welcome to the movie review brought by our channel. Black Panther, Wakanda Forever is a superhero film that follows the story of the Marvel Comics character Black Panther. The film is the sequel to Black Panther, which was released in 2018, and is the 30th film in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. It was directed by Ryan Coogler and co-written by Coogler and Joe Robert Cole. The film features an ensemble cast, including Letitia Wright as Shuri Black Panther, Lupita Nyong'o, Danai Gurira, Winston Duke, Florence Kasumba, Dominique Thorne, Michaela Cole, Tenoch Mejia, Martin Freeman, Julia Louis-Dreyfus, and Angela Bassett. The plot centers on the leaders of Wakanda as they work to protect their nation in the aftermath of King T'Challa's death. Black Panther, Wakanda Forever was announced as a sequel to the 2018 film Black Panther in mid-2019, with director Ryan Coogler returning to helm the project. However, plans for the film changed in August 2020 with the tragic passing of Black Panther star Chadwick Boseman, and Marvel Studios decided not to recast his role as T'Challa. The rest of the main cast from the first film, including Letitia Wright as Shuri Black Panther, Lupita Nyong'o, Danai Gurira, Winston Duke, Florence Kasumba, Dominique Thorne, Michaela Cole, Tenoch Mejia, Martin Freeman, Julia Louis-Dreyfus, and Angela Bassett, were all confirmed to return in November 2020. The title of the film was announced in May 2021. Filming for Black Panther, Wakanda Forever took place from late June to early November 2021 in Atlanta and Brunswick, Georgia, as well as around Massachusetts. A hiatus was taken to allow Wright to recover from an injury sustained during filming, and production resumed in mid-January 2022, wrapping in late March in Puerto Rico. The film is produced by Marvel Studios and distributed by Walt Disney Studios Motion Pictures.
Show them who we are.
Let's go to the movie. In the beginning of the movie, Shuri is trying to recreate the herb that can save T'Challa's life. However, Ramonda tells her that T'Challa has passed away and Shuri starts crying. A funeral ceremony is being held for the beloved King and Black Panther at a clearing, and T'Challa's coffin is taken away by a fighter. 1 year later, Ramonda arrives at the United Nations where other countries are upset about the spread of vibranium. The night before, soldiers infiltrated a vibranium ship and took a woman prisoner. Okoye appears and the Dora Milaje battle the soldiers. Ramonda announces that the king is dead and that Wakanda will always strike back against its enemies. Okoye brings the captured soldiers into the room and makes them kneel before Ramonda. On the Atlantic Ocean, a helicopter arrives at a ship where vibranium is created. Two people go underwater and discover that the engine is failing. The Talikans attack the ship and kill the crew, but some people manage to escape on a helicopter. However, Namor grabs the helicopter and throws it into the water. The next day, Ramonda is watching the news and sees a report on her meeting at the United Nations and T'Challa's passing. Okoye visits Shuri in her lab, where Shuri is working on trying to recreate the herb. Okoye's mother tells her to continue working on the herb, but Shuri says that the Black Panther is old news. Ramonda arrives and reminds Shuri that it is the anniversary of T'Challa's passing, and invites her to a memorial later that night. During the memorial, Shuri and Ramonda talk about T'Challa and Ramonda burns her clothes in tribute to him. Shuri chooses not to burn her clothes, but Namor appears and warns them that a scientist has attacked a ship holding vibranium. Namor tells them that they need to find the scientist or he will attack Wakanda. The next day, there is a council meeting where M'Baku suggests they should kill Namor. Ramonda disagrees and suggests that Okoye should go undercover and try to find the scientist instead. In 1571, a plague swept through the Yucatan region and a group of people turned to a plant as a potential cure. After consuming the substance, they became blue-skinned and lost the ability to breathe air. Seeking refuge, they moved to the ocean and founded the underwater civilization of Taliban. One of the women who ingested the plant gave birth to a baby named Kukulkan, who later became the ruler of Taliban. When Fen, one of the founding members of Taliban, passed away, she requested to be buried on land. Kukulkan and a group of guards set out to fulfill her wish, but upon arriving on land, they encountered a civilization. In order to create a burial site for Fen, Kukulkan and his guards attacked the civilization. During the conflict, one of the villagers referred to Kukulkan as Namor, meaning the boy without love. Meanwhile, on the Atlantic Ocean, a ship containing vibranium is under attack. Some of the crew manage to escape on a helicopter, but Namor destroys the aircraft. The next day, Ramonda is informed about the attack on the vibranium ship and decides to send Okoye undercover to investigate. During a council meeting, M'Baku suggests they should kill Namor, but Ramonda disagrees and proposes that they send Okoye to find the responsible party instead. In her lab, Shuri is working diligently to develop an artificial heart-shaped herb that can be used to help her brother, T'Challa, the king of Wakanda, who is suffering from a terminal illness. Suddenly, Ramonda enters the lab and delivers the devastating news that T'Challa has passed away. 1 year later, Wakanda is facing external pressure from other nations that are eager to acquire their valuable vibranium. The Dora Milaje, Wakanda's elite all-female special forces unit, catch a group of French military personnel attempting to steal from a Wakandan outpost. During a meeting with the United Nations, Ramonda reveals the French's attempted theft and reaffirms Wakanda's commitment to defending its resources and sovereignty, even in the absence of the Black Panther. At a mining outpost in the ocean, Americans are using a vibranium detector developed by MIT student Riri Williams to locate deposits of the valuable mineral. However, they are suddenly attacked by Talakandals, who are determined to protect their own vibranium from being stolen. As the Americans attempt to escape in helicopters, their last remaining helicopter is struck down by Namor. Back in Wakanda, Ramonda and Shuri are mourning the first anniversary of T'Challa's death. As part of their grief ritual, they burn the funeral garments they have been wearing to mark the end of the mourning period. However, Shuri is not yet ready to fully let go of her grief. Just as the ceremony is ending, Namor arrives. He tells Ramonda and Shuri about the existence of Talakan, another nation that possesses vibranium, and seeks their help in preventing outsiders from stealing their vibranium. However, Ramonda is wary of Namor's presence and motivations. Namor says that he intends to kill the scientist who created the vibranium detector and that Wakanda can either help him or stay out of his way. Shuri and Okoye visit Everett Ross, a former CIA agent who has connections to the superhero community, to seek information on the young scientist responsible for creating the vibranium detector. Ross agrees to give them the name and location of the scientist, despite the potential consequences of revealing private information. Shuri and Okoye then travel to Cambridge, Massachusetts, where they locate the scientist, Riri Williams. In her garage, they discover that Williams is working on an Iron Man-like suit of armor. However, as they are talking, they are followed by the FBI, who are tracking Williams' movements. The three of them manage to escape, with Okoye taking a car, Shuri riding a motorcycle, and Williams using her armor to fly away. However, they are soon confronted by Atuma and Namora, two members of the Talakandals, a group of underwater beings who are determined to protect their vibranium. A brief skirmish ensues, and Shuri and Williams are captured by Atuma and Namora. The next day, Ross arrives at the scene of the skirmish and meets with his ex-wife, Valentina Allegra de Fontaine. He also finds some Kimoyo beads, Wakandan technology that allows for communication and access to various systems, and hides them. In Wakanda, Queen Ramonda is furious with Okoye for losing Shuri and for her perceived lack of loyalty to the throne, citing past incidents such as her apparent support for Killmonger during his attempted coup. As a result, Ramonda dismisses Okoye from her position as general. Meanwhile, Shuri and Williams wake up in Talakan, where Namor is trying to persuade Shuri to join his cause and help him kill Williams. He shows her around Talakan and gives her his mother's bracelet as a gesture of goodwill. However, Shuri disagrees with Namor's plan to kill Williams and resists his attempts to sway her. Back in Wakanda, Ramonda travels to Haiti to seek the help of Nakia, who left Wakanda 6 years earlier. Nakia agrees to help locate Shuri and uses her skills as a spy to figure out where she is being held. She then breaks Shuri and Williams out of their captors, as Ramonda talks to Namor about his plan and tries to find a way to peacefully resolve the situation. Upon returning to Wakanda, Shuri and Williams are caught in the middle of an invasion by Namor and his people, who flood the city and trigger an all-out war. Namor takes out all of Wakanda's vehicles and floods the throne room, where Ramonda and Williams are trapped. Williams starts to drown, and Ramonda bravely swims to save her, but in the process, Ramonda herself drowns. Shuri is left to mourn her mother's passing as Namor tells her that she is now the Queen of Wakanda. He and his people then leave the country. Meanwhile, Valentina Allegra de Fontaine discovers that Ross has been secretly communicating with Wakanda throughout the conflict and has him arrested. After the funeral for Ramonda, M'Baku, a leader in Wakanda, speaks with Shuri and advises her not to seek revenge against Namor by killing him. He also offers to provide housing for the Wakandans who were displaced during the attack. Inspired by M'Baku's words, Shuri decides to use Namor's mother's bracelet to create the artificial heart-shaped herb, which she had been working on for T'Challa before his death. When she takes the herb, she is transported to the astral plane, a spiritual realm that can be accessed through meditation or certain plants or herbs. There, she encounters Eric Killmonger, who claims that they are alike in their pain and loss. They argue before Shuri declares that she intends to kill Namor out of revenge. Shuri then wakes up and creates a suit for herself, using her technological expertise and the resources of Wakanda. She appears at a meeting between M'Baku and the elders as the Black Panther, Wakanda's protector and leader. As they prepare for battle, Shuri and Williams come up with a plan to weaken Namor by overheating his body to the point where he can't get oxygen. They create a second Ironheart armor for this purpose, and Shuri also gives Okoye new armor, the Midnight Angels, which is similar to Iron Man's suit. Okoye recruits Annika to join her in forming a two-woman team. The Wakandan forces use a vessel to lure the Talacanals into a trap in the ocean. The battle begins, and at first, it seems that Namor has the upper hand. However, the Black Panther is able to trap Namor in a Royal Talon fighter and fly away from the battle, leaving the Talacanals behind. The Dora Milaje fight the Talacanals on the sides of the vessel, while the Jabari tribe, Nakia, and other Wakandan forces engage the Talacanals on top. Ironheart and the Midnight Angels deal with the airborne Talacanals. During the flight, Black Panther overheats the Royal Talon fighter, weakening Namor, but he manages to break out with his spear. Black Panther responds by shooting a blast from her vibranium gauntlets, causing the whole ship to explode and send both of them crashing onto an island below. They continue to fight, and Namor eventually impales Shuri. However, rather than finishing her off, he is more concerned with getting to the water before he dies. An injured Black Panther breaks free and stands in front of the limping Namor. She armors up and calls out Wakanda forever as she unleashes a blast from the exploding Talon fighter, setting Namor ablaze. As he collapses, she stands over him, ready to finish him off. However, she remembers her brother, T'Challa, and the lessons he taught her about compassion and mercy. With these memories in mind, she decides to spare Namor's life, on the condition that he returns to Talokan and ends his aggression against Wakanda. Namor expresses his gratitude to the Black Panther and joins her in calling for an end to the fighting. Black Panther once again shouts Wakanda forever, and the rest of the Wakandan forces repeat the phrase in unison. In the aftermath of the conflict, Williams returns to MIT without her armor, as the Wakandans do not want to create any controversy by allowing her to keep it. Shuri decides to leave for Haiti instead of vying for the throne, which ultimately becomes the focus of a challenge by M'Baku. Later, Namor is shown painting in his room as Atuma enters. He reassures Atuma that their new alliance with Wakanda will be beneficial for Talokan. On his way to prison, Okoye breaks Ross out of custody, presumably to help him avoid being punished for his role in the conflict. In Haiti, Shuri meets with Nakia, who has been living there since leaving Wakanda 6 years earlier. She then goes to the beach, where she burns her funeral ceremonial robe in accordance with Ramonda's wishes, allowing her to fully grieve T'Challa and move on from the past. In a mid-credits scene, Shuri learns that Nakia and T'Challa had a son together, Toussaint, who Nakia has been raising in secret far from the pressure of the Wakandan throne. Toussaint reveals that his Wakandan name is T'Challa, and he is interested in learning more about his heritage and the responsibilities that come with being a member of the royal family. Finally, don't forget to subscribe to us, and don't forget to click the bell icon to be notified of our latest videos. Thank you for watching this video and have a nice day.